Hello, hello, hello. Get rid of this timer. And change the music. Change the music. Where are you? Check, check, check. Testing, check. Not that one. Don't want that one. I hope everybody's doing well today. That's fine. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Last week, we are here to talk about Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. Now the stream itself is going to go as far as it's going to go, but hopefully people pop in the chat. We can share your thoughts. And as always, if you didn't make the stream, check this stream out later. After stream cuts off, you can always chime in the comments of the video later. But what episodes 1 and 2 of Ahsoka for last Tuesday, and every Tuesday moving forward. I thought it was every Wednesday that these episodes were going to be dropping, but it's every Tuesday, which is good. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, your time, and I want to say 5 o'clock the other time zone. So that works out tomorrow. It just sucks because my day off just got switched. My one time where my day off got switched this week. I usually am off on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, and they had to, because we're short staffed at my job, they had to switch my day off from this coming Wednesday to tomorrow. So I'm off tomorrow. Hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so sorry. Had to handle a family thing real quick. Brief moment. Um, but yeah, guys, yeah. Episodes 1 and 2 for last week were something special, something great. I really enjoyed those 2 episodes. Of course, there were my own personal criticisms a little bit that we could talk about, or I'll share. Like I said, the stream, as always, the streams are gonna go as long as they go, depending on if anybody shows up. Because as always, I don't want to sit here for like an hour talking uh, to the screen and stuff. But with that, let's dive into it. Um, and we will also prepare because episode 3 is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. I'm just like excited, elated. Like I said, wish that I was off Wednesday, the day after, just because it's my usual day off. Let's see who is in this chat. Disinferno, what's going on? How are you? Hope you're doing well today. You said Ahsoka left Sabine for some reason, and she feels some quit over that because it was something that turned Anakin when she did something similar. That's why she doesn't want to re-encounter Sabine even. I feel like I mean we'll dive into a little bit more, but I do feel like Sabine, like, I want to say for both sides. I mean I kind of feel like they both need to have a heart to heart, just because they haven't been around each other, and you can kind of tell in one of the scenes, like, that it seemed like Sabine hadn't even been in that section in so long. We even checked the one side that where the drawings were on the side of the, I guess that was the bed or something like that. So it just lets me know, like, hey, like, they haven't really, even between them two, they haven't really had a conversation in a good while. So, but let's dive into. I grabbed so many images, but I'm gonna try to just talk about some stuff. I don't want to prolong. Definitely, we got to talk about this opening crawl. Let's see if I can fix it first, because I can't stand it when. I think I got it. I'm gonna remove myself from the screen here if I can. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. The opening crawl. I did notice, like, some fans of it, that the opening crawl it's a mixed response. Me personally, I was like, oh man, we got an opening crawl again, right? It's not the traditional one. It's not the one that we're used to having, which is, of course, the originals plus the prequels plus the sequels, where the opening crawl scrolled. You know what I mean? So, so it's just like, and then again, with that, the opening crawl kind of tied into the very opening, where we would get like the specific key characters' masks or faces or whatever, and even in that was the color red. We knew that when they showed bad guys, their color would be red. When they showed the good guys, their color would be blue. But that wasn't the transition of what happened, and it tied into the opening crawl here. So I've seen mixed reviews. Some fans are saying this is cool. Other fans are saying they don't like it because it's not the traditional way. I'm curious and wondering if we would get this opening crawl again in this style at some point, maybe even on the Filoni movie. I'm curious about that as well. Disferno, you said Marok has rusty armor. There's also no Empire marks on his mask. That means that, or even he himself cleaned it, or wait, you said he cleaned it, or he never had Empire logo on his costume. Well, they're saying that he's a they're saying Marok is a former Inquisitor. And I can pull up. Let me see if I can find it. I mean, I can jump a little bit ahead. just a smidge. And there's so many like people theorizing on who Marok is and stuff like that. Many people are wondering about that, about who he is. There's a guy that's playing Marok, the character. Let me see if I have. I know I have for sure episode 2. Just have to find it. Here we go. There. Wait. I need a close up. So like, this is one of the better images. Just one of the better images. More of a close up of him. This is one of them. Cause I couldn't get a paused image from the site that I was using. It was like the still image would have to be different. But yeah, he's a former Inquisitor. He was around when the other Inquisitors were around. So I'm just like wondering, because there's just something about him. I mean, again, the people are theorizing that he's Ezra or he's Barriss Offee and stuff like that. But I'm just like, it has to make sense as to why he would be at least Ezra. Just to be honest. So yeah. So the actual opening, we had, the ship flying through, just like basically like with the original films, like A New Hope. We had that pop in, with the ship here. And I always love stuff like this when it's pertaining to Star Wars. And then we get the bridge with the crew. I forgot the actor's name. I personally remember this actor from Rush Hour, starring Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. But again, he's a lot older now. I forgot his name, but he played one of the cops in the show that interacted with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan's characters in the film. So yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. People were saying Star Killer as well. I kind of found that interesting as well. But people were thinking that Sam Witwer was voicing Marok, but that's not the case. He was actually voicing the robots that attacked Ahsoka when she popped out from the temple. Before, of course, they blew it up, right? So he's actually credited for that. But then we get, when they're having the conversation here at the beginning of episode 1, talking about, this ship, this Jedi ship, clearing, their clearance and stuff like that. We see it coming towards the ship. As always, you're like, us the watcher, you're like, oh, this is bad, right? Of course, we know who it is. We have a protocol droid here, which are always famous, them having them in Star Wars. I just can't remember what color this protocol droid is, though. If it's like, I wouldn't say it was gold, but once they arrive, once they get here, they have this, the conversation between, the captain, Baylan, and Shin Hati. And, the captain knew what was up. But I found it interesting that, per the conversations that he was having with Baylan, more specifically, that he was telling him, like, yeah, like, you thought you had us tricked, this, that, and the third, right? But, you can't fool me. And that's when he, that's when he asked one of his subordinates here to check to really check their background. And that's when Baylan was just like, up. And I really love Baylan's response when he's having the conversation with the captain here. I don't know if I caught it. He did. Here I did. Here it is. It was a quick glance over. quick glance over to Sheen, and then that's when, of course, she did what she did. And this is where we see some stuff from the trailer pop up here in the actual scene, which was just really, really just dope. Of course, Blue, the Blue Pig, what's going on? How are you? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Honestly, show kind of feel like a book of Boba Fett for me so far, and not in a good way. Man, like I understand. Like there are fans out there that are saying like it just didn't click for them. Some fans are saying like the acting's bad. For me personally, I enjoyed most of what I saw. A couple of critiques in these episodes that I have on my own that I'll probably talk about a little bit here. Yeah, see, this is Sheen just attacking. I got like all the images that I got were just like as the episodes were flowing, so I couldn't like pause it and stuff like that per the site that I was using. I had Disney Plus, but my television was being used, so I had to use my monitor and stuff. Blue Pig said, "I don't know, man. Just with Rebels being show, it's not living up for me. Balin is cool. I understand. Like I said, I get it. I understand, dude. Like I said, it's not. It's not. It's as always. I always say like Star Wars isn't gonna connect with, everything within the universe of Star Wars is not gonna connect with everybody. But you can find something or some things that connect with you is really just what it's really about. And all themselves are cool, but Ahsoka just never clicked with me in live action. No, it's okay. That's totally fine. We see here we got Balin. He had that conversation with the captain. He was like, "You have one thing right. We are no Jedi," and he took him out. Of course that harkens back to Ahsoka telling, Vader, way back in Rebels, per that conversation. And we get the bridge stuff with her. I don't know her name, but like I said, the captain, he's from Russia. And then Sheen pops in. Like we get the trailer stuff. Finally, it was like the last couple of weeks, man, when we finally got the episodes. Finally popped in. Finally got a chance to see all of this stuff. It was like, man, it's finally here. Of course, she gets about the chair to try to shoot at Sheen. But I thought per the trailer that we were actually gonna see Sheen attack her, but that's not what happened. What we saw from the trailer was actually what we got here in the episode. Because I always kept thinking like, oh, that's just a spot that they edited in to just give us the front movement of her attacking that person, but we don't actually see it. I think the first episodes were very good, 8 out of 10. Yeah, I gave it a 9.5 for me. Like I said, that a half was just some criticism from my end. Balin going through the hall, taking people out, force choking, just really just dope just to see it. Definitely, guys, for sure, like I posted in the community tab, RIP to the homie. He captured this character in such a way that, like Ray Stevenson just, man, like RIP to the homie. It just sucks. Like, I was just talking to a buddy of mine. I got off of work. He works in the building next to me. Used to be my my neighbor actually. We were talking. He didn't even know Ray Stevenson even passed away. Like I told him, like Ray Stevenson passed. He was like, "Oh man, I didn't even know." Looked it up. He had passed away May 21st. So it just sucks because he can't even get it. He doesn't get a chance to see our reactions to the Balin Skull character. It just freaking sucks, guys. But once we get to the door and he opens it up, we get to see Morgan Elsbeth here behind the prison door. And some fans were saying, like, wondering, like, questioning, like, well, why didn't she, because she's a Night Sister, why didn't she, use her powers to even escape? She was just, like, chilling there. I personally believe that she just was probably looking to maybe possibly just like see where Balin and Sheen's loyalties lied with her, and of course Thrawn. So yeah, um, Blue Pig said wait. Dis Inferno, you said I get emotional when Sabine was watching Ezra's message. Sure, definitely. And Blue Pig, you said the hallway scene was cool. Did enjoy that. And then Dis Inferno, you say what if this new galaxy has its own Jedi Order, like a new Jedi Order? I'm curious about that too, because we know that the galaxy that we currently know of is like what it is, right? We know that this is the only galaxy that, but for me at least, I feel like because it's the Star Wars universe itself, that there are many more galaxies, but we've only stuck and stayed in the one main galaxy that we have. We've only stayed, in Tatooine, Coruscant, this, that, and the third. So, per what we're seeing with this, it's just like, okay, they talk about that, and I'm gonna get there in a little bit. But they talk about, Peridia and Pathway and stuff like that, and this being a fairy tale that we get the chance to really understand, like that they do have, Lucasfilm, Disney, they do have the ability. And there's the title, Part 1, Master and Apprentice. We do have the ability to, dive into other stories. But it's, at the end of the day, they're the ones that comes down with the decision to say what they want to, really dive into. And I'm personally glad that, they are going to be giving us that film that is like 25,000 years before the Jedi, before the Phantom Menace, the prequel trilogy. So, whoops, I was just making sure that the sound was good. But then, once we get all of that, we hit the temple grounds here, and there was some concept art that went up like a week prior to these episodes dropping, and it looked like there was like some Zepho images and stuff attached to these pillars here and stuff like that. I was really looking for it. I was trying to see if I could find it. I really couldn't tell if that concept art was the actual stuff that we got on these pillars here. You said Dave Filoni is full of risk. Yeah, definitely. Why not, right? Why not make it happen? So when Ahsoka gets here, we get just the more of as the camera is panning up to see, more of the temple. There is a question that I have. I feel like some of you may have. I know that many other fans definitely have about this temple, about, wondering, questioning about, this map. One of my honest questions, just a quick one, we more than likely may not get that answer, is how did they get the information to even come here specifically? That's one of my main ones. How did they get Ahsoka to come here to find, he said he's full of something, all right, to even find the map. Many fans are complaining even about the map, right, alone, I do like how Ahsoka was touching the sandy dirt here. That was cool. And then, of course, we get the part where she lowers her hoodie. Got that from the trailer. We see that here, which I love too. But then we get to see her create the hole with her lightsabers. This was dope. I love that part. And then she fought, but I can't remember. Did they show that in the trailer? They probably did, and I just forgot. But I definitely remember her falling down into the temple. Um, Now, I hope that there were fans out there that didn't really complain about this part once she got in here, once she's seen basically like the Night Sister uh, imageries here on the walls. Um, I hope that fans didn't complain because I didn't see any, but maybe out there. Kind of feel like I hope that the fans didn't complain about when she was trying to figure out the puzzle to be able to maneuver these little small little like things here. Um, this in front of you said Ahsoka said that she get while using mind tricks on more. Oh, okay, okay. Says to Huang. Definitely, definitely David Tennant is that dude. Like I just want to say it because I'm just glad that he came back to reprise that voice of Huang. It was just dope. But like I said, I hope that fans didn't really complain about this part because, she, did need to really figure out how to work this stuff to be able to really figure out the little puzzle to get to basically point in the right direction, get the stuff to glow before she finally opened up the hidden thing. You had to get the hidden thing here to pop up to where then she just broke it apart and now usually though in these temples usually there would be like some tests that you had to do or traps and stuff that you had to avoid, but they didn't put that. They made it short and sweet to where she can get into this thing and get the actual map. So that's not a complaint on my end. But like I said, usually when you have stuff like this, these temples and stuff, there's usually like even in Rebels, you know what I mean? Like when they were in those temples, specific key temples that they had to, try not to, get taken out by booby traps and stuff like that. So I found it just like cool that they just got straight to the point after she figured out the puzzle. So you like Hera. A lot of fans are not liking why am I losing my train of thought on her name? Why am I losing my train of thought? Give me a second. Give me a moment. Mary Elizabeth Winston. A lot of fans are not liking her as Ezra. A lot of fans aren't liking. There are fans that don't like either of these specific key women who are playing these these very iconic characters. Me, I don't have any real issues with any of them for real. Well, no, my fault. I personally feel like Hera for me isn't really hitting the mark that much. But like Rosario's doing a great job and Sabine's doing a great job as the characters, but Hera just isn't really connecting with me live action as of yet. Gotta give her probably more so a few more episodes. Let's see. Map itself leads towards this distant galaxy, while Morgan knows where Thrawn is. You can't travel through hyperspace without a map in unknown regions. Definitely. Like I said, but there were a lot of fans who were just like, "What? Not another map? This, that, and the third." It's like, why another map, right? But once Ahsoka pops out, like I said, I apologize for the images because I couldn't do my normal sport how I want to do stuff. I couldn't do it yesterday, so we see these droids that we knew that she was going to fight in per the trailer. Nice. I'm glad that you enjoy all the cast members. That's great. It's really, really great. Where are we? We get these droids, they talk to her, and eventually, of course, we see that they, they surrounded her, but I love that she went down. I tried to get her slicing the ground in the circles to be able to make them disappear. I don't think I was able to actually get that screenshot. But I do, like I said, I do like the fact that she, was able to like trick them. Okay, here's a little one that I got. she was able to trick them and just take out what she took out, what, two, and then took out the other two, or one. Should have no. That's right. She didn't take them out, which is interesting. Maybe because she felt like it was just too quick. It wasn't. Well, she didn't have enough time. Because once they popped out of the ground from being taken down, that's when they were just like, self-destruct, blah blah blah. So I do find that part interesting, that when you think like, oh, she had them fall down, like she took them out, but she didn't. She just it was more so a distraction for the others. And I'm guessing like maybe she felt like, well, if she diminishes the numbers, then she can handle like two at a time and then look to do the others. But like I said, that's when the droid, that's the one droid that she cut the head off. She, it said that, self-destruct mode activated. And that's when she had to dip out and run. And then she calls Yang. She's running. All right. Yeah, she's running. She's yelling at him to just basically keep flying, keep driving. I love that part. Love this part too. She was escaping, but the temple basically got blown up, and we find out how it got blown up, because we did see in the trailers, fans were picking that up, like, oh, that temple that she was at looks like it was the temple that she was actually at to do whatever she needed to do. But of course it got, basically got blown up as she was escaping. But she got what she needed, and her and Yang had that conversation on the plane. And then they head to where they're headed. And I love this spot here where we had where I immediately was thinking like, oh, it popped, like Luke popped in my head for a split second, but I kind of feel like it's, a couple of the officers that, have been in the past couple episodes of like Mando and stuff like that. More than likely that's them just there, you know what I mean, to assess the damages of this ship that Balin, Skull, and Sheen Hati were at. Yeah, I kind of do feel like I definitely agree that it was like atmospheric. It was just really, really just cool. Yeah, we get them flying and seeing the ship on the sides, damages and stuff like that, and they're just curious of what really happened here. That trying to figure out in their minds like what's really going on. But then we get the. I do love how this part here when. They were basically parking the ship. I love stuff like this because I'm a Star Trek fan too, so I'm a Trekkie too. So I love watching, the Star Trek ships parking when they're supposed to, and I just love to see stuff like this when they do it. Oh wait, that's not it. I thought that was the image of the one, but y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. But then that's when we get Hera and Ahsoka seeing each other. We also got a chance to see some background stuff, some droids and stuff like that. And one of them, I think I got it too. One of the workers was carrying a specific droid in his arm. Let me see if I can find it. I thought that I kind of chuckled when I saw it happen. Yeah, this guy here, he was carrying this droid. And at the time, even still looking, I still can't really tell what he was carrying. But I chuckled at the fact that he was carrying this droid the way that he was. But then we get the conversation about, between Ahsoka and Hera here about Sheen and crew. And just to let y'all know, if you didn't know this, I forgot to grab this screenshot, but these stairs here are to the left of where Balin and stuff. If you can see the stairs, I think I got a better thing here with these stairs. these stairs here behind Ahsoka are actually the same stairs that Luke walked down. And I want to say it was in Return of the Jedi. So it was just really, really cool to see them place this here. This was just dope. Like I said, they're talking about trying to figure out who these people are, why they did what they did. Yeah, there goes more of the stairs, but you know, that's when they, like I said, they had that conversation about the map, and you know, Ahsoka saying Thrawn. She even mentions, like, you know, the air, and I heard her whisper this, that, and the third about his return, this, that, and the third. So that was just really just dope, just to have that conversation. And then that's when they, I forgot what this character came up, because it even sounded like Akbar, but it's, you know, of course the actual actor, you know, R.I.P. to the homie, he passed away back in 2016, but he sort of sounded like Admiral Akbar, but it's not the same voice actor. So, but he just sounded like him. Then of course we get the infamous switch to Lothal. It's such a beautiful city, right? To see it live action was just really just dope. Just so freaking cool. Like, I just loved seeing Lothal in live action form. Just look how beautiful, how white it is, right? And my homie, even though he don't know me, Clancy, reprising the role live action form as Ryder. This was cool. I love that they brought him in to play the character that he played in the TV show. That was just dope. Love that part. The guy in the back behind him on his left, he showed up in, I want to say, Rebels as well, because he does pull him to the side, like, you know, where's Sabine. It was just fun. I was just cracking up because he was like, you know, we're here to celebrate, and this, that, and the third, and you know, we're gonna bring out we're gonna bring out Sabine Wren, and this, that, and the third. She didn't show up. She's like, where did she go? And of course, you kind of put two pieces together, and of course, there's a mural back there. You see that the beautiful mural back there. It's just dope. I wasn't sure if it was actually him at first or not. Him or Jill Kelly, yeah, man, yeah. Like, I pretty much put two pieces together, because it's just like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, hold on. I sat up. I was like, hold on, is he playing Ryder? It's just like, it sure enough is, right? That's the home live action. That's dope. But I want to say too, because they showed the various other side characters, right? Like I said, the guy on the right here, he also too got placed in live action form. Like I said, he was in Clone Wars. I can't remember his specific name at the moment, but I want to say, lady in the middle looks like the same actor from Obi-Wan who reprised her role as, you know, as Aunt Peru in even the you know, the prequels, at the end of the prequels, end of Revenge. I want to say this because it sort of looks like her, but I could be wrong. Could be some different lady. I don't even know if I'll be able to even find. Maybe I could, but this just sort of kind of looks like her. That's why I kept looking. I was like, hold on, is that you know, the same lady who was in, you know, the prequels at the end, and they brought her back in the Kenobi series to reprise her role? Is that her? Sort of kind of looks like her, but I'm not too sure. That's just something that kind of stood out for me during this scene before we got, you know, the legendary thing that Sabine was getting ready to do. There is something, but it's very faint. I tried to look for it, but somebody else caught it. Another YouTuber on his videos caught it. They were able to enhance the thing. They were actually able to see Sabine flying down. which I really just love these speed. Like, guys, this is like my ultimate, like my second ultimate favorite um like my second ultimate favorite vehicle in all of Star Wars, because this is what another thing that helped me to fall in love with Star Wars back when the original trilogy was out, back on Return of the Jedi, when the Stormtroopers were using these styles of rides to get around. And I just love these speeder bikes. I really, really love them a lot. And to see, even see Sabine during the trailers, I was like, yes, they brought him back, right? I was excited. So, but of course, she modified the bike for herself. She put her own spin to it, making it dope for her. I can't remember the name of the ships. Somebody else said it. I can't remember at the top of my head, but a lot of fans were glad to see these ships being given, basically being canonized and basically being put in the live action form. A lot of fans loved this because these were from, I want to say, some book from way back when, or a comic book or something from way back when. So that's why I'm saying this is why I love Star Wars so much, because they, like they either canonize something, recanonize it, bring it in live action form, which is really, really cool. I don't know this guy's name or his background acting wise, but I did enjoy their conversation that they were having when he was talking to Sabine about slowing down, about going back. You missed the ceremony, blah blah blah. And she's saying like, not everybody's there, this, that, and the third. I did indeed enjoy that, but of course, that's when we get the iconic, oh, she's crazy. She, she's not gonna. Is she gonna slow down? He kept telling like, Commander Sabine, slow down, blah blah blah. Of course, she doesn't, and we get what we got when she was sliding underneath the ship. See, that's the thing where, like I said, the images that I got were just moving a lot, so I couldn't really control how I was screenshotting them. And then, of course, we get the iconic. I tried to even get the droid part where when he popped his head up, the smoke popped from his head, top of his head. I tried to get that too. That didn't happen. But after all of that occurred, that's when, the infamous Lothal Cat live action, brought to live action. Many fans love this beautiful animal here. Where are you? I got a more of a... There we go. Look at the beautiful animal. Many people say that they want to pet it and even, have it for themselves. So, you know what I mean? It was just really, really cool to see it moving around, responding, as a normal animal would doing this stuff. And, when she goes to feed it, that we see that her helmet is down here. So you can kind of tell, like, a lot of stuff that she has in this room has collected dust. It hasn't been touched in a good while, right? Hasn't been touched in a good while. And she had pulled out some stuff. I don't know if I got the... yeah, she had got this stuff out. This is sort of kind of more so, memorabilia. You know what I mean? Stuff that reminds her of, we get the scene, the homie Ezra. And I love this too because he was, just telling her, like, good luck, like this, that, and the third. I'm doing this video because I'm more than likely gonna be gone. You know what I mean? Jedi this, Jedi that. And I love the fact that his mannerisms of Ezra were there. Especially when he does the, I think this is it. Yeah, when he puts his hand on his head, back of his head to this is a nervous thing that he does. Ezra's always done this, like a nervous response. But I did not like. I personally didn't like the fact that he, and a lot of fans were saying, many fans were saying, like, they didn't like the fact that Ezra said, like, you're a sister to me, blah blah blah. It's like, dude, like, you've had feelings for her. Now all of a sudden you're no longer, and I get it. Technically, they built a bond on family and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he was feeling her. Should have kept those feelings strong. In the midst of her not, sort of, kind of not feeling the same way. But I kind of feel like here, I personally feel like she has a little bit of feelings for Ezra, even if she may agree with him, like saying like, oh, like we're sort of kind of like brothers and stuff like that. And of course we get the iconic other one from the trailer, Ahsoka arriving to see Lothal even more, how we usually would get in the show. Where are you? Oh shoot, I skipped some stuff. Let me go back. I skipped the scene. Gotta talk about this scene, because this is what a lot of fans, there were some fans that were theorizing this. I didn't even know that they were theorizing Morgan Elsbeth's character and who she was as a character. Yeah, they do. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But there were people theorizing this back during that episode of Mandalorian that she was in season 2 with her fight against Ahsoka. They were fans. I didn't even know this until I searched and looked. And there was a couple of videos out of people saying like, "Oh, I feel like Morgan's night sister," and she, for the conversation with her and Shina T, that she confirms that here when they're talking. But again, there were people saying that's the reason why I'm saying that is because there were a couple other people that were saying that even this year that they felt like that she was a night sister. That this is what we're gonna find out about Morgan Elsbeth's character in the show, and she confirms it. So now, and then of course there are fans. There's a meme that I gotta share in the community tab. I'll probably share it tomorrow. There's a meme that, or maybe even today after the stream. There's a meme that says like, basically saying like, oh, well, you're human, blah blah blah. Like if you're a nice sister, why are you human looking? But I thought it was just funny. If you haven't seen the meme, I'll share it in the community tab after the stream. But then we get, them having this conversation. Now, with that, back at the beginning of the show, after, because I forgot to mention this, Baylan talks about this. I'm probably going to put a video together about this, but I've been meaning to do that. I've just been busy. Baylan talked to Morgan about, who the specific Jedi person trying to thwart their plans, right? Thwarted my plans, right? And she Morgan, that's when she told him that, the specific person is Ahsoka. And my question is that when Baylan is talking to Sheen, telling her, we will follow her lead, talking about Morgan Elsbeth, that I sat back and questioned, well, he says it to her. He says, you're looking for Sabine, her apprentice. And I sat back and I was like, well, wait, how did he know who and what? Like I was questioning that, and then I started to question, well, maybe because again we do have that conversation even at the end of episode 2 between Elsbeth and Baylan, that he's using the Force and stuff like that. And I'm wondering, how strong is Baylan in the Force if he's able to actually seek the Force and its guidance to tell him key specific things. So that's why I'm saying, well, maybe it's either maybe because he used the Force to be able to tell Sheen like, oh, you're going to be going to Lothal, you're going to be going to find Sabine, the apprentice of Ahsoka, blah, blah, blah. Is that the case? Or is it that Morgan Elsbeth's character was the one that told him, you're looking for Ahsoka, but she also has this apprentice. So that's why just a very, very small confusion, criticism on my end of questioning and wondering how, what I mean, he knew to tell Sheen where to go. That's just something that I was wanting to question about. Maybe we get that information, maybe we don't. But then I love this spot here where we got a couple of extra camera angles of Lothal. We got just a couple. Like there was one that was pointing to the right section, on the going in the other direction of the city of Lothal, and then there's this, I believe this is the other one that's pointing left. I just really just love the look at this spot here, how it is viewed, the sun setting and stuff. It was really just beautiful to me. But yeah, this is when we get where we wonder, because this is when Sabine's having these dreams and she's hearing Ezra in her dreams. And again, it harkens back to Anakin, back at the prequels. He's having Force dreams. And of course, we sit here and we wonder, question, well, wait, because I put that video out there a few days ago, last week, of saying, questioning, is Sabine Force sensitive or is she isn't? Because per the conversation that she ends up having with Huang in episode 2, he says the lines of saying, you out of all the the Padawans that I've your force aptitude is basically like very, very low or just non-existent type of thing. That's just what I feel like he's saying to her at the time. I think I bypassed. Where did it go? Yeah, when she pops out of the bed and she says Ezra. She woke up out of her sleep here, and she got basically like startled, waking up the way that she did, and I'm just like, oh, this here was having me like, hold on. Is she Force sensitive now? Is she not? Because again, you're wondering, you're questioning what are they going? What route are they going with Sabine's character now that she's in live action form? Where are they going with this spot here? And then, like I said, that's when Ahsoka arrived. She had the brief conversation with Ryder. He's like, you should have been there, blah, blah, blah. People were looking for you, blah, blah. She didn't. She was a little cold. A lot of fans, even like one here that was saying in the chat, like they just don't like, they didn't like Sabine. The acting of Sabine, the actress here. But then we do get the trailer stuff because Ahsoka does show her the map. And there are fans wondering, like, well, how is it that that Sabine can figure out, the mapping portion type of thing. When, maybe like say Ahsoka couldn't. And this is what I was talking about when they got here, the table was here. Because I would love to have a table like this come out of the ground, here. And I do like I said, this spot where Sabine comes in the room here and we have these drawings where this bed, I think it's a bed. And I kind of feel like this, Could be could be Ezra's room. Kind of feel like that. But then, like I said, they have the conversation, pull the table out. They have the conversation per the trailer. They have a conversation about, the map. They have the conversation about, Sabine. Like I said, Sabine being Ahsoka's uh, apprentice, and yeah, it's just like, like a lot of fans were saying, like, how is it that it's like, is Sabine, you know, force sensitive? Is she not force sensitive? She wasn't showing any signs in Rebels, but at the same time, per a couple of the conversations that I had with people, off screen, off live stream, that the force, I will at least say, like, the force itself moves and flows how it's going to move and flow. So whatever the force decides that it wants to do with somebody doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna have them be force sensitive in this moment, or within several years or whatever. The force is gonna flow how it wants to flow. Uh, and that's why I'm saying, like, we could look at it that way, of saying maybe Sabine is force sensitive. It's just that the force now wants to prepare her to actually, exuberate these things. And we get Sabine riding out to her place of peace, and we actually get this kind of parallel where we get Sheen with the droid coming to her. It reminds us of the Phantom Menace with Darth Maul, and his droid when he was going after Anakin, and Qui-Gon. So let me see. And I do love the fact that she was there and she had the droids in the background chilling with her and stuff like that. I love that part. But then we get, because I thought per the scene that we had prior to where Ahsoka and Sabine were at, I thought we were getting the training portion, but at the same time, it is a little too soon. It's still the first. This technically is still the first episode, but that's what popped in my head. I thought that we were going to get the training portion, but we get Sabine trying to figure out the Rubik's cube, the map. She's trying to figure it out, and eventually, of course, she does. I mean, it's technically is sitting right there at the bottom of the hologram. It's just her trying to, but again, like, some fans were just like, oh, like, how could she figure, why was she the only one that could figure out the map and blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, hey, some stuff in Star Wars just is not, just doesn't make sense, and it's okay. Maybe, possible. But she does open it up. She does have the thing open up. And, we get the part where it points that we eventually get in episode 2. But this is again, has to be more than likely a brand new galaxy, not an actual planet, but it technically could be a planet. Peridia could be an actual planet. Okay. So yeah. And I love the fact that when she was petting the cat, that it responded because the droids were popping up. And she chased them off, but ultimately, the main focus of everything is her fight with with Shinati. We get that here. And some fans were complaining about the fight scenes with both Ahsoka in episode 2, with excuse me, with also with with Sabine and Shinati here. And you were wondering how it was going to flow, how it was going to go. But ultimately, we find out how it went, right? Excuse me. Because I personally feel like Sheen was kind of toying with Sabine, because she was doing some interesting swings with the lightsaber. A lot of heavy swinging, a lot of overhead swings. She was doing a lot of that in this fight. Right? It's just like, what I mean? But it just, you can see the smirk, the smile on Sheen's face. She was enjoying herself, you know what I mean, during this fight. She's relishing in this fight. Because you could just tell, like, Sabine's just rusty. She hasn't really been training, of course, because, her master's not there. Master left. Ahsoka left. She's, holding bit of a rage towards Ahsoka. Of course, Ahsoka and Huyang are on their way. But like I said, ultimately, that's when we get the stab. And this has become a meme. I'm more likely to share that. Well, maybe I think I did already. I'll double check the community tab in a little bit. But we get the stab. You can tell it's not, like, it seems lethal, but she's still, like, responding, and like, she even, like, she swung her lightsaber at Sheen, like, you know what I mean, like, it just didn't, you could kind of tell, like, oh, okay, she's okay, sort of. Of course, she passes out, but you know what I mean, like, it's still dangerous that she got stabbed. Like, really, still dangerous that she got stabbed in the gut. And that's when she passes out, and of course the episode ends. That's how it ended. So it was just like, oh man, like, no, like, that's the thing, I yelled out, I screamed, I was like, oh no, like, I think, yeah, that's what I said. I said, oh no, like, I yelled out, because I sort of kind of, I personally wasn't really expecting her to get hurt right here, but it happened. So you know what I mean, like, okay, what's gonna, but again, like, at the same time, like I said, more than likely Sabine, in my mindset, was like, oh, she's okay. She's because she's technically still in the show. We have to get to the part where she cuts her hair off and is wearing the armor and stuff like that. So it was just like, but it was still a little bit of a shock for me. It was just like, I wasn't expecting her to get hit. So ultimately we get the for our friend Rey at the end of episode 1. I feel like either way, episode 1, episode 2, the ending, whichever one, I don't mind where they place this. I definitely just, got a little teary-eyed when I saw just, the small dedication to Rey. So it was just like, yeah, man. Like, the homie, like, I really do wish that he was alive to, you know what I'm saying, see our responses, our reactions, and stuff like that. So, what's the time on this? I'm going for over an hour. I'm going to try to do it a little bit quicker for episode 2 here. But we got the opening. I love how when the opening episode 2 comes in, we see Ahsoka pop in. She had turned her head, and she actually, because she had her eyes closed, she was feeling Sabine's dream in the Force before she, finally woke her up and stuff. Excuse me. Like I said, she woke her up, and like had to tell her like, hey, this is where you are, like you're okay, blah blah blah. So, hold on, guys, hold on a second, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm gonna probably end the stream in another, because I kind of need to go do something. But real quick, like I said, they had the conversation. You know what I mean? Like basically saying like, you're good, you're cool, but at the same time, you need to chill, you need to rest, don't go anywhere. And then we get the next scene, which is them at CTOS to place the map where it's at before they make the inevitable call out to they make the inevitable call out to Morgan Elsbeth to tell like, hey, we think we have what you need or whatever. But yeah, I need to go, guys. I have a bit of a emergency here at home. I gotta run. Sorry for cutting the stream so early. Look to continue it maybe tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow or something. Knock out the second half, the second episode. But definitely, guys, episodes 1 and 2 were great. Really enjoyed these episodes from last week. Episode 3 drops tomorrow night at 9 p.m. I'm gonna watch it, put my video together, or maybe a couple of videos together for tomorrow night to go up on the channel, and then the next video should go out 5, 6, 7 hours later for Wednesday. And then once I get home from work Wednesday, then I'll look to do another video or two. But I'm out. Enjoy the rest of the evening and night. Stay safe, stay humble, and remember, the Force will be with you always. Peace, guys.